Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great day. I want to continue what I started with you yesterday about the Great Commission. Of course, we know that Jesus told us to go and make disciples of all the nations. How do we do that right here where we are? How do we bloom where Jesus has planted us? If we think about 21st century Canada, we need to admit that we live in a secular society. I knew it. Perhaps I was not willing to admit it, but it is true. But I think it became a whole lot clearer that Canada is a secular place when I read the following statistic. It made it settle in for me. David Gutserski of the Evangelical Fellowship of Canada recently said that only 20% of Canadians attend church at least once a month. Now I want you to let that number sink in for a moment. I did some quick math. In our province, if you do some of the math on any given Sunday, there's about 35,000 people in a worship service in the entire province on one Sunday. That's just a few more than were vaccinated for COVID-19 this week. That sort of gives us some perspective, doesn't it? So the second question that was asked as part of that article of what are our opportunities as people who live in 21st century society, as people who live in Canada right now. The question being, how does the church navigate in this secular society without giving into it or disappearing from it or being mean towards it? See, the last thing we want to do is poke at it with a stick. But you see, they also formed it with a subpart to the question too. In a culture that's sometimes hostile towards us, how will we suffer well? How will we make our way through this secular society? Well, I've got a thought for us here. I'm going to take a shot at it. I think a big part of the answer is together. Together, I think, is the answer for us. You see, as we read in Acts chapter 8, there is this strong contrast that is given. Stephen has just been stoned by this angry mob that are contrary to the message that he was sharing about Jesus Christ and that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, that message that we share as followers of Jesus. They were so contrary to him that they took him out and they killed him with rocks. There in Acts chapter 8, Stephen is buried and mourned by godly folks, and the contrast is that Saul, who is breathing out his murderous insults at the people who love Jesus Christ. In the midst of all that contrast, we read in verse 4 that the scattered preached the word wherever they went. You see, they had each other and they had Jesus, and they preached that good news. Jesus hasn't left us, so let's keep telling people about him. Now, before I go, I got an email one time that was titled, "So You Think You Know Everything?" And it's one of those lists, you know, they were perhaps more common in the 90s and the early 2000s, but I love those emails that trigger your interest and then give you a list. I know that I don't know everything. I know that nobody knows everything, but there are some pretty neat things on the list. Did you know that a dime has 118 ridges? I didn't. Or about this, a crocodile can't stick out its tongue. Now that could be helpful information, I suppose, if you ever encounter a crocodile. I didn't know that. The other one that caught my attention was that a goldfish has a memory span of about 3 seconds. What was I just talking about? You have a great day. God bless you.